Fantasy Baseball Picks and Bets presented by Prize Picks. I'm JT Hayes, Run Pure Sports, and RunPureBets.com. You know about Prize Picks. Very simple. Betting against the house at Prize Picks. They're going to set an over or under for fantasy points for a particular player. You pick what you think is going to happen. In order to start there, you've got to open an account. And when you do so, use code MMNMLB. That's MMNMLB, and you'll receive a $100 deposit match just for opening the account, courtesy of the Mayo Media Network. By the way, like and subscribe to the Mayo Media Network and rate this video and their podcast 5 stars because we know that you're going to absolutely love them. For the DraftKings 9-game slate, we're going to talk about a couple of prize picks that I like, and we'll start in Houston. Justice Sheffield and the Seattle Mariners head down to Houston. Justice Sheffield is a talented pitcher. He hasn't put it all together yet, as evidenced by his 15% barrel rate and 1.62 home runs allowed per 9 innings. Look, the Houston Astros haven't quite been the juggernaut that they have in years past, but they're starting to put it together. Signs as evident as Saturday when they dropped 16 runs on the Los Angeles Angels. And tomorrow night, they've set Prize Picks, that is, the over-under for Alex Bregman at 8.5 fantasy points. He is, for his career, just outstanding against left-handed pitching. Justice Sheffield is still having troubles with right-handed power hitters like Alex Bregman. I like him to go over the 8.5 fantasy points against Justice Sheffield. Now, for the second pick that I'm going to give you, as I've said before, I hate the unders. I hate to root for a player not to do something, but the Colorado Rockies go into San Francisco. They are coming out of let's be honest, the best hitting park in Major League Baseball into the San Francisco Giants home park, which is just simply more of a pitcher's park, especially at night, especially when the fog rolls in San Francisco. And CJ Cron, who has been hot, but his over-under is 6 fantasy points. He's going to be facing Anthony DeSclafani. He has allowed only a 143 batting average to right-handed hitters. He's also striking them out at a 23% clip. Give me the under on CJ Cron. So as always, busy week in Major League Baseball, busy week for daily fantasy sports. And before I get into what happened this week and who's doing well and who's not doing well, let me talk to you a little bit about Run Pure Sports and RunPureBets.com. Daily fantasy content for tournaments, for showdowns, for cash games, everything that DraftKings and FanDuel offer. Hey, guess what? We provide content for it. And if you go to RunPureSports.com or RunPureBets.com, enter the code RPSHeater25, you'll get 25% off your first month's payment. Why the code RPSHeater? Because Run Pure Sports members are winning 5- and 6-figure prizes almost every night of the week. So, Run Pure Sports, RunPureBets.com, RPS Heater 25. Let's talk about Jacob deGrom. Now, as I've said, I'm a recovering Mets fan, grew up in New York, moved away, but they're now under new ownership, and I'm hoping things are going to turn around. And it all starts with Jacob deGrom, and he has been amazing, phenomenal, doesn't even start to describe what he's done. 3 games in a row, 14 strikeouts. 14 strikeouts. And by the way, 14 strikeouts in Colorado, in the best hitter's park in the game. He pitched 6 innings. 14 of the 18 outs that he recorded were via strikeout. And then the other night against Washington, 15 strikeouts and a complete game shutout. He has pitched so far this year 29 innings and has 50 strikeouts. He has a .31 ERA. He is just incredible, and I can't wait for his next start. Now, naysayers will say, well, yeah, Miami, Colorado, Washington. But guess what? It is what it is. 50 strikeouts in 29 innings pitched to start the year. Man, there's a saying about what you do in life. Get a good lead and let everybody catch up to you. Jacob deGrom is going for it for his 3rd straight Cy Young Award. Speaking of pitchers, wow. couple of weeks ago, talked about Madison Bumgarner, said, hey, he was a champion. Looks like he's on his way out of the league. He hasn't been good, but he was really good this week. Great start against the Washington Nationals. Got the win there. And then, of all things, a no-hitter against the Atlanta Braves. Hey, it was a 7-inning no-hitter, sure, but a no-hitter nonetheless. He looked phenomenal. And how about the Arizona Diamondbacks? 2 games, doubleheader against the Braves on Sunday. Zach Gallen with a shutout in Game 1, only gave up 1 hit. Madison Bumgarner, no-hitter in Game 2. So good for the Diamondbacks, but wow, all the talent on the Atlanta Braves, you have to expect them to come out of it pretty soon, but it certainly was not against Madison Bumgarner. What about the Oakland A's? 13-game winning streak came to an end against Baltimore in their game on Sunday, but they have just looked phenomenal. They have looked ready to take that American League West division. They'll be heading into Tampa Bay tonight, but Mark Canha, Matt Olson, Ramon Laureano, and how about the resurgence of Jed Lowry? I mean, this is a player who signed with the Mets, signed as a free agent. I don't even think he played a game. If he played a game, maybe it was 1 or 2 with the Mets, but now he's clearly healthy and clearly producing for an Oakland A's team that looks like it's going to be a difficult out for Houston and the Los Angeles Angels in the American League West Division. Fernando Tatis Jr., wow, he was hurt. He was on the injured list, and then he's just been nothing short of phenomenal. 5 home runs so far, because I'm recording this on Sunday night, in this Dodgers series in Los Angeles. How about this murderer's row that he faced to hit those 5 home runs? Clayton Kershaw, Trevor Bauer, and Dustin May. And guess what? He was happy. He was celebrating. He and Trevor Bauer have this little back and forth thing, and he let Trevor know that he was excited about hitting that home run. And the best thing about this, the best thing to come out of all of this, outside of the fact that Fernando Tatis Jr. is just phenomenal, is Trevor Bauer was asked about it, and he said, hey, that's great for the game. We should celebrate success on the field. Bravo, Trevor Bauer. That is phenomenal. It's just another reason to like the guy, quite honestly. And man, watch out. This series, 6 games in, looking like a masterpiece to watch the rest of the year. And then a couple of injuries to talk about. Mike Trout, a little bit of a wrist, forearm injury. He missed the remaining games of that series in Houston. Have to keep an eye on that. Christian Yelich had a setback in his rehab. He'll be out for a little bit longer. And then Hyun-Jin Ryu pitching really well today against Tampa Bay. And then he did come out with a muscle strain in the 4th or 5th inning there. So some things to keep an eye on moving into this week for daily fantasy baseball. So let's talk about the DraftKings plays for the Monday 9-game slate. And hey, how would you like to be the Miami Marlins? You lose 3 or 4 in San Francisco, but you get to travel cross country almost in the middle of the night, but you're playing at home. And who's waiting for you? Corbin Burnes. That's right. Corbin Burnes, 47% strikeout rate, 0% walk rate, a 19% swinging strike rate. It's going to be a long night. Welcome home for the Miami Marlins. Corbin Burnes, 10.4K on DraftKings. It's not even close. He's just easily the top play on the slate. I probably won't make a lineup without him on this slate. But for my other pitcher, I may just stay in the same game. Because guess what? The Milwaukee Brewers come out of Chicago into a much more difficult hitter's park in Miami. And they're going to face Trevor Rogers, who looks like he is on the cusp of a career year. Trevor Rogers, 36% strikeout rate, 19% swinging strikeout rate. The Brewers have not been an offensive powerhouse to start the year. And this is a situation where I think you can play both of these pitchers in the same game. So I'm definitely not going to be looking for offense in Miami tomorrow night, but I will be looking for offense in Houston. I talked a little bit about Justice Sheffield earlier. I think he's going to be a good pitcher one day, but for now, a 15% barrel rate. He's giving up nearly 2 home runs per 9 innings and a 40% hard hit rate. man, this Houston Astros team is built to punish left-handed pitching. Alex Bregman, clearly a guy that I'm going to be interested in and have on a lot of my lineups tonight. Also, Yordan Alvarez. Don't worry about the lefty versus lefty matchup. It doesn't matter to Yordan. He doesn't care, and I think he's going to do well. And then for a cheaper play to include in that stack so that you can fit guys like Burns and Trevor Rogers, Miles Straw. He may be leading off like he was over the course of this weekend, but if not, and he's down in the order, I wouldn't worry about it too much. 2.8K for Miles Straw on DraftKings. The other stack I like, again, talked a little bit about Colorado leaving the friendly confines of Coors Field, heading into San Francisco. Look, it's not a great hitter's park, but it's not a great slate for hitting, and I think that the San Francisco Giants are going to put an end to Austin Gomber's luck. He's been really good to start the year. He really has been, but some of that has been the product of luck. He has a 17% walk rate. He himself is allowing a 10% barrel rate. And for the San Francisco Giants, there's 3 guys that I expect to be in the lineup tomorrow night that, they have some injuries, sure, but I think Austin Slater at 3.5K on DraftKings, Darren Roof at 3.0, and then Buster Posey. Didn't play last year with COVID and all the things going on there, but Buster has been really, really good to start the year. 3.8 at a catcher position that I think is going to be a little bit challenging to roster on this slate. Give me the San Francisco Giants against Austin Gomber, and give me the Houston Astros against Justice Sheffield. So if we're playing daily fantasy baseball and we're focusing on teams that we think are going to score runs and pitchers that we think are going to do well, we should make a couple of bets. Should we not? Yes. The answer is yes, we should. Here's a couple of ones that I like for Monday, April 26th. Look, Austin Gomber, I just talked about him. He's been good to start the year, but I think his luck is going to run out a little bit here. Give me the San Francisco Giants. -1.5 is the run line there. I like it. They're a dog on that, +138. And I think between Austin Gomber's luck running out and a bullpen that was worked a little bit this weekend by the Philadelphia Phillies and isn't particularly all that great, I think the Giants are going to win this game by 2 runs or more. So give me that line for the San Francisco Giants. And then the Dodgers played another intense series against the San Diego Padres. They are staying home, but as we saw, this takes a lot out of teams to play these types of rivalry series. They did lose in Seattle last Monday, coming off of the series in San Diego. Cincinnati has been red hot offensively to start the year. They're traveling into Los Angeles, and it's Tyler Mahle going against Julio Urias. And Cincinnati is a +155 dog in this one. I think Cincinnati squeaks this one out. I think they've got enough offense after the series that the Dodgers have had to put this one away. So give me Cincinnati Reds money line +155. Now, a lot of things can change. A lot of things can change between the time I'm recording this and the time that, let's say, an hour before games are going to start. So that's why you should visit runpuresports.com. Use code RPSHeater25 for 25% off of your first payment. And go to runpurebets.com. Runpurebets.com, guess what? They have daily tracked bets. So whoever you want to tail, you can see. Are they winning? Are they losing? And pretty much, I got to be honest, they're not losing. They're winning. These guys are on fire. We've got JJ. We've got Joey Work. We've got Tyler. We've got a guy called the Sports Keg, which if you like mixed martial arts, if you like the Ultimate Fighting Championship, you should listen to the Sports Keg talk about one of these cards because I got to be honest, it's intoxicating. I've never heard anything like it. He is so good, so deep into the metrics, and he can almost always predict what's going to happen. And then finally, I can't leave without mentioning this guy, Spread Astaire, perhaps the greatest name that I've heard so far of a guy who provides daily fantasy or betting information. Spread Astaire? I mean, he's into the classics. He's into the spreads. He's really good at the money lines too. RunPureBets.com. For Monday, April 26th, that's what we've got. Get on over, Prize Picks, get your account. MMN, MLB, get that $100 matching deposit. courtesy of the Mayo Media Network that you're going to like and subscribe to right now. Good luck.